Alright guys, so on today's video, pretty much I did a lot of stuff off camera, right? So I got the drive shaft in, and funny story about the drive shaft is I actually sold a set of the 68 Charger taillights I had to a gentleman for $200, and then he asked for like my social media and everything just because we hit it off with friends now. And so I sent him my Instagram and I also sent him my YouTube channel. And in the prior video on my YouTube channel, I mentioned that I needed a drive shaft for, a 383, 727, and 8 3/4 rear end combo. And he just happened to have one. And I wish I would have asked him whenever we was first talking about the taillights before he drove, the 3 hours down here to my place. And so I ended up getting a drive shaft from him. I just paid him the money back that he gave me for the Charger taillights. And it was a done deal. So nice little trade-off there. I had to drive 3 hours at his place. But got that worked out, and the drive shaft fits perfectly, but the U-joints, right? So on Chargers, can't even see it, but on Chargers there's the 7260 U-joint and then the 7290 U-joint, right? And the 7290 is bigger, and that's what the drive shaft had in it. So the drive shaft had the 7290 rear U-joint in it. Bad thing was my 8 3/4 rear end is a 7260 yoke on the rear end. So the 7290 U-joint was too big to fit into that yoke. So I ended up having to get it's a combination U-joint. So it's a 7290 piece, or half of the U-joint is 7290, goes into the drive shaft, and the other half is 7260, bolts up to the yoke on the rear end. It was like 20 bucks, and a new yoke for the rear end to change all to 7290 was like 70 bucks, and it was like I had to know the spline count for the pinion, and all this stuff, and yeah, I just didn't feel like doing that, so I went the cheap way, but it is what it is. And then if we look down here, you can see I got the exhaust all done, or not all done, but the driver's side done. Start on the passenger side. Let me grab my phone real quick as a light. But yeah, so all 3-inch stainless steel, going back to a little shorty bullet muffler right back there, as you can see. And then it's all, TIG welded real nice. And I'm starting on the passenger side right now. And basically all I did was, so it's two 45s, so there's a 45 there and then a 45 there that curves it up into that little dip on the transmission crossmember, as you can see. And it's got about a finger's worth of clearance all the way around, so that should be solid. And then I also started doing the wiring. So I got the bulkhead in, then this is the engine harness, that's the front light harness. And then on the inside of the car, I got the fire extinguishers mounted up, and then I got the fuse box just sitting here for right now. And I don't know how good you're going to be able to see it, but all the fuses. And I'm just going to mount this down there on the firewall after I clean up all this wiring, because I got all that. And then went ahead and put the new bright switch in for the bright lights. So pretty much Charger's coming along pretty good. Just little stuff here and there. The biggest thing I was worried about was the drive shaft, just because I thought I was going to have to get a company to custom make one, just because once you start putting different engine transmissions and everything in the car, you never know if a stock link drive shaft is going to work. But I measured it from center U-joint to center U-joint on this drive shaft is 52 inches. So I mean, of course this is a stock drive shaft, but even if I just went off of a gut feeling and ordered the stock link drive shaft, which is like 52 1/8, it would have worked. So good news there. But got this one for the price of a set of 68 Charger taillights and 50 bucks in gas, so can't beat it. And I still have 2 more sets of 68 taillights. Not that I'm changing this to 68 taillights, just it's not like I sold my last set, which I mean I wouldn't care anyways, I'm not going to use them. But yeah, and then I also got the header gaskets, which I need to put on, and then finish installing all that wiring, get to all this wiring, which is like the rear light harness, as you can see with all the plugs. It's just got some other little like minor plug-ins, and then it's got the heavy wire for the, I want to say to run to the starter from, I don't know. I'll look at it whenever I get into it. But yeah, so pretty much that's the update on the charger. And then if we go over here to this other side, we can actually see what I'm doing with the exhaust a little bit better. So basically, as you can see, you know, V-band flange, TIG weld on, and this one I left this straight on just because I didn't jump the gun and start welding before I had all my stuff in. So 45 here, cut it down, the straight leg off of it, put on the other 45 that I cut down the other straight leg off of it, and then run it back, and you see it clears up into that little cutaway in the transmission crossmember real nice. And yeah, so then pretty much I think the 4-foot straight part is going to come in sometime soon. But I'm going to have to cut it down because on this side over here, as you can see, I used 2 pieces. So I joined a 2-foot piece, so that right there, from that weld to that weld is 2 feet, and then another 19 inches to the muffler. So and it comes in 4-foot sections. So I'm going to do on this side just one long 4-foot, and I'm just going to cut what, 5 inches off, right? Because 24 and, oh no, not 5 inches. Yeah, 5 inches. 5 inches off. Because that one was 24 and 19, which is, what, 43? And it comes in a 48 stick. So 43, yeah, 5 inches off. And that should be good to go. So then it'll match the same length, and it'll look a little bit better because it won't be spliced in the center, which is what I wish I would have done on this side. But the original plan was just to use 2-foot section on each side of the car. So I ordered a 4-foot section of pipe, and I was just going to use, you know, 2 feet on each side. But you know, I quickly realized that 2 foot of pipe, you know, even with the 45s coming around the crossmember, was just going to be way too short. The exhaust is going to be in and right here by the door, so you might be smelling a little bit of exhaust. And yeah, I just figured, you know, it's a 70 charger, might as well do it, you know, halfway right. So yeah, I'm gonna bring y'all back after I TIG weld all that up. All right, so I'm gonna include this this little part in the video just because people might be wondering. So this is pretty much the fit up on the pipe. So you see it's, you know, slam up, jam up, and there's a slight bevel on each pipe, just to give, not really for penetration, just to give the weld somewhere to lay. So if you didn't bevel it, you can still get 100% penetration, but the weld would be a little bit, you know, convex. And I want my welds flush. So I put just a slight bevel on it. Didn't even bevel the whole diameter of the pipe. So you can see right there, I don't know if it's going to focus on it, but it's probably, or not diameter of the pipe, but the thickness of the pipe. So I didn't even bevel half the thickness of the pipe, roughly. And so there's a good face on there still. And then this is 304 stainless steel, so of course I'm welding it with 308 filler. And I got some 045 and then some 16th, which is what, 063, 065-ish roughly. And then seeing how there's a bevel on it, I don't need to be welding that much amp, so I can weld at pretty much you know, 40 amps, and I can go full pedal, and it's gonna be happy, smooth sailing pretty much. And then close up of that weld over there. Yet again, I don't think it's focused on it, but yeah, just in case anybody was wondering. And then for the TIG setup, it's just a 332 2% laminated tungsten. And then I'm running a number 12 glass cup with a diffuser and a gas lens kit. And then I think I'm running, what, about 25 CFH. So, welds real nice, welds real easy. And yeah, just for anybody that was interested in my welding setup. So, just got done welding pipe, and I just wanted to show y'all that the smallest things matter when TIG welding. The slightest bit of grease on it, the slightest bit of oil, even the oil from your hands, just your natural, you know, hands. But also wind, right? So as y'all can see, both garage doors are open right now. Whenever I was welding, I only had that door open, the one in front of the charger. I had this one closed, right? And it still, the wind still came in, right? So as y'all can see, everything's nice, colored, nice, burnt, right there. Right, you see how it's so much darker than the rest, and everything else solid, nice color blues and golds. Nothing got overheated, right? besides that one spot. And the reason what happened to it is when I was welding, I knew it happened. As soon, like right before I ended the arc, I could just, you just get a feeling, right? I don't know, it's weird, but you just get a feeling. And yeah, the wind blew, the wind blew in, and it blew the argon shielding away from the weld. And yeah, I mean, it's not critical, so it don't matter. It's not like this is a sanitary project, you know, and like food production or anything, so don't really matter. It's going to be just fine. This side of the exhaust isn't even back purged. So on the driver's side, I back purged the whole exhaust whenever I was welding it. So the inside of those welds look just as nice as the outside. But on this, I didn't back purge it just because, you know, it's not critical. You don't need to back purge. Technically, you need to back purge all stainless steel, but on exhaust like this, especially whenever it's like a non-turbo, non-supercharged application, it don't really matter. There's not going to be that much exhaust temp like there would in a turbo application. Like if I was building turbo headers, or if I was building any headers in general, I would back purge. But just for regular exhaust, you know, it's going to be just fine. But yeah, so this is going to go up there, and it's actually going to mount up like that. So the header's going to come here, and then it's going to go tuck into the crossmember, go straight out, roughly 43 inches of straight pipe, and then a little bullet muffler on the end. And that should be good to go. But yeah, so just, you know, if you just have to be TIG welding your exhaust, remember to either set up something to block the wind, or just close the garage doors, or if you're welding outside somewhere, you know, they got the little shielding things, the little plastic shielding things to keep wind off from, you know, TIG welding and MIG welding. But yeah, so actually that's gonna be all for this video. I still gotta weld up the rest of the exhaust, but the other 4-foot section ain't here. I do have the muffler, but it's all the same thing, you know, same welding. Actually, it's less. So all I gotta do with the 4-foot section is just bevel the ends, weld it to this, weld the muffler to it, and neither one of those matter how they're clocked or how they're rotated, because it's just a straight pipe, so it don't matter. And the muffler is straight, there's no bends in it, so it don't matter. So real simple stuff, and then just mount up this little cheapy mount, you know, and this bar right here. So this bar will slide through. I'll bend this bar around the exhaust pipe to hold it, and TIG weld it to the exhaust pipe. Mount this to the other side of the car, just like I did on the driver's side, and should be good to go. But yeah, I guess it's going to be like a little charger update welding video for everybody.